YouTube? Knight's Edge here again. Got another quick little review for you. Pretty cool little knife. This one's sent to me by Fred the Lug, another part of the big, gigantic box of knives that Fred the Lug sent to me. Really appreciate that, Fred. Shout out to Fred. He's also starting a YouTube channel. You guys want to check it out. And he does have quite a few of these for sale in the Discord. Not really sure if this one's one of them or not, but check my Discord out in the buy sell trade. A lot of people got some pretty cool stuff in there. Milton, Fred, Eddie, myself. So definitely check that out. Before I get into it, I want to thank all my Patreons, channel members, subscribers in general. You guys are awesome. Thanks for listening to me ramble day in and day out. Hit the like button if you like the content. Really helps me out. Appreciate it. Subscribe if you want more of it, if you're not already. Would love to have you. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. This one is the Kubey Knives Momentum. Momentum tie, I guess. I don't know if it's Momentum tie or just Momentum. But this is a pretty cool little knife nonetheless. We'll go ahead and get into the ups and downs, backwards and forwards of it, overview of it. This is a Sharif Manganis design. Sharif, pretty big part of the community. He is on Matisfactions lives all the time on Wednesday nights. Has quite a few cool designs. The Kamano, the Aurelia, I believe. Probably saying something wrong, I'm sure. But anyway, just a basic overview of Sharif as a designer. He's got some pretty neat designs. So go ahead and do how we usually do on here. Do the overview, specs of it and everything. From the tip of the blade to the end of the handle. Almost pretty close to 8 inches. Right about 7 15/16, I guess. Just shy of 8 inches. What I would call almost a full-size knife, pretty much. If you go all the way back to where the blade meets up with the handle, you're looking at 3 and 3.5 in the middle of the choil right there. And sharpen edge on this right at 3 1/4, it looks like. Maybe a hair over 3 1/4. Measure it laterally, it's right at 3 1/4. Alright, let's get the calipers out here. Turn them on. Step number 1 that I miss half the time. 117 thousandths thickest part of the spine. Behind the edge, you're looking at 19 thousandths. And your handle thickness, 446 thousandths. So just under half an inch on that handle thickness. Alright, we'll go ahead and do some size comparisons here. Let's start out, we'll do the usual suspects first. So you got your cold steel knives, 8010, and your Demco knives, 80-20.5. Right there. So kind of right in between the two, actually. Well, I don't know, pretty close to the slicer. Slicer's almost there with it, but definitely has some more cutting edge than the Demco 80-20.5 slicer. Go ahead and get out a couple more of the usuals here. Ontario Knives Rat Model 1 and your Ontario Knives Rat Model 2. A couple more here. Put the Rat Brothers up. Here is the Spyderco PM2 and your Spyderco Knives Para 3. So the cutting edge is actually, even though the overall length is, it's just shy of a PM2, cutting edge is actually a little bit more than the PM2. Thanks again to that super large forward choil, signature forward choil there on the finger choil, I guess you could call it, on the paramilitary too. Let's see, let's do some random ones here. There is your Ritterhogue RSK MK1. That's the regular full-size one, and that's your Hogue Deca right there. Let's see, let's do a couple more random Protect Mordax right there. Oh, a little bit of oil on it. That's your Protect Mordax and your High Water Knives Estuary. A little bit smaller than both of those, I guess. And let's see, what else do we have laying around here? Here's a SOG Knives Kiku. And your Chavez Scapegoat. That one's actually headed to Carco before long. And let's see what else we got here. Here's another Kubey. Did a little review of that one the other day. That's a more of a budget with the Ultim. That is the Kubey Hide. And let's see, one more Kubey. There it is. Kubey Titties. Giggity. So there's a comparison next to the other two Kubeys that I have in availability anyway. Alright, and last two size comparisons, of course. There is your DeWalt framing hammer, and of course your 8-inch USA made crescent wrench. Necessity in the size comparison game, I think. Get out the scale here. Trying to make these a little quicker with the overviews. You guys probably can't tell. I'll probably end up rambling a lot longer than I think. I appreciate you guys watching and listening. 3.8 ounces. Pretty good weight on it. Doesn't feel like an especially heavy knife. A little over the ounce and inch ratio, but not by too much. So take a look in there. We have internal milling. Yeah, got some internal milling right in there. Can't really see it. Let me get my flashlight out, see if I can fix that. A little bit of internal milling going on right there. So definitely helps with some weight reduction. Get one more weight check on it. 3.9. Yeah, 3.9 ounces. Not especially a heavy knife, I wouldn't say. Definitely not one. Titanium over 3.5 ounces that I would personally carry if I was running or something like that. But other than that, just fine. Work pants like these. These are clearly work pants, right? They're frayed and messed up. Almost a fully deep carry clip. That's pretty cool for a milled titanium clip. Definitely thinner than the finger width. One screw right there. And it looks like, not 100% sure on that, but it looks like, to me, that it is reversible on that pocket clip. Maybe so. Not 100% sure if it is reversible. I know there's no landing tab right there, and that's kind of got a little bit of the blue jeans still stuck in it. Everything about this knife, and I'll get into that more in the with the ergos and stuff here in a second, but everything about this knife is pretty tight, from the detent to the action to the pocket clip. Some good, some bad. We'll get a little bit farther into that, but we'll go ahead and do the hardware check right now. Single-sided captive pivot. Got the Kubey KB logo right there. I like that kind of gold-black combo, black and gold. I live in New Orleans. I'm a Saints fan. What can I say? Sometimes, I guess I got to be, even whenever they're doing really bad. But the black and gold is definitely pretty cool. All right, so put that down. Let me go ahead and get my driver out. Drivers. So we got a T8 in the driver here. I think that's a T8. Yeah, T8. T8 on your body screw there. That's got a little bit of, looks like a little bit of residue or something kind of in that one. Don't know what that is. Not me. It came like that, but I believe that's a T8. Let me check the clip on the other side. Yeah, T8 all the way around on the body and on the clip. And the pivot also T8. That is awesome. Thumb stud is not removable with a torque set, although I'm sure you could unscrew it there very, very carefully, maybe with a pair of pliers or channel locks and a rag or something over it, trying to be careful not to kind of mark up that gold finish that's on there. All right, so I think that's it as far as overall specs. This is a super tight little knife, I think. I've actually been kind of flipping it a little bit here before the review to kind of warm it up a little bit. I keep everything in the garage in my drawer, and the garage is a little bit cold right now. It's wintertime, it's cold here, a little bit colder than normal anyway, but kind of been warming it up a little bit. Aside from that, let's go ahead and talk about the aesthetics of it, I think it's a pretty good looking knife. Got the Kubey logo right there. I'll flip it over on the other side, M390 manganese, a little bit of billboard, but not too much, a lot less than some others. So no, really, I don't really have too much of a problem with that there. And again, M390 on that blade steel, pretty solid blade steel, especially for the price. These are sitting around $220, by the way. I like Sharif's logo. I think that's really cool, manganese. Flip it over to the other side, and again, Kubey logo and Kubey on that pivot there. Got a little bit of a harpoon notch there. All right. Whenever you're grabbing it ergonomically, pretty comfortable. Always enjoy a good harpoon notch knife, and a little bit of a smaller harpoon notch there, not as large as something I don't know, something like on the Strix or something. I don't know why I can't think of another good example right now, but not quite as large as you see on some other knives. A little bit of jimping there kind of helps if you're choked back. Choked up, your finger pretty much rests on that kind of a flat there. Got a little bit of that tab sticking up there, but not really too much of an issue. And pretty solidly comfortable choked up. I mean, it's not going to win any awards, I don't think, as far as ergonomics. But it's not bad as far as ergonomics. Kind of middle of the road ergonomics. I think it's pretty comfortable anyway. I would be satisfied ergonomically with it. Looking at the choil, you got a little bit of a sharpening choil there. Can kind of choke almost all the way up there, but not fully, but your thumb's kind of past that. So if you're kind of grabbing it, putting your index right there on that sort of flatter spot, that's a good solid locked in position right there, in my opinion. The jimping on it is kind of small. I wish they would have done the jimping a little larger, a little bit aggressive, especially if that detent's tight, which it is right now. And as you can see, I can index this thing pretty easily, front flip it pretty easily. Really like that. Have come to actually warm up to front flippers lately. A little bit more than I used to hate front flippers, but they also have the thumb studs on there too, which is awesome. So it's not just front flipper only actuated. You can reverse flick it using the thumb stud. That's pretty cool. And to the thumb stud, I really wish they would have kind of milled this down a little bit, or contoured it, or it's a little sharp, I guess, is what I'm getting at on that thumb stud, to me anyway. And a lot of people might, your opinion might differ, but I kind of find it a little bit sharp on that thumb stud, and the jimping I do find a little bit sharp as well. So kind of be cool if they fine tune that. Action running on bearings, kind of a shake shut, pretty solid, no issues there with the action. And that milled titanium pocket clip I think looks really nice, really cool micro milling. If you look really close at it, you can get the details of it. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus in right there. So see those little micro lines, that's a pretty nice little touch. It is a frame lock, got the little lock bar screw right there, prevents over travel. And that, I think I checked that earlier, but let me go ahead and double check that. I think that's also a T8. Yeah, okay. So this one, I don't know. I like the design. I wish they would have done the jimping a little bit better. I think, in my opinion, the fine jimping they kind of lose me there a little bit with that, and the thumb studs being so sharp. But again, overall, I think it's a pretty solid knife. M390 on the blade steel, titanium on the handle with micro milling. Do have a little bit of a back spacer there with a little bit of a lanyard, kind of barrel spacer / lanyard, I guess, stud device right there, right? So overall, I'd say it's a pretty cool knife. A little bit more contouring maybe on the, or not contouring, I don't even know the right word. A little bit less sharp of jimping and a little bit less sharp of thumb studs probably would have really won me over a little more with it. Really like the blade shape, really like the ergos on it. Pretty solid knife overall. The Kubey Momentum. I can't believe I forgot the name of the knife mid-review. That's crazy. Not Metal Complex you guys are watching, so forgive me. Hey, good news is most of y'all probably haven't made it this far anyway. Let me know in the comments what you think. I really like this one. I think it's pretty cool. Wouldn't be of the 8 or 9 that Fred sent me. I wouldn't put this one in the tops, but then again, Fred did send me some pretty cool stuff. So, not a bad knife, not a great knife in my opinion. And for 220 bucks, M390 on blade steel, titanium handles. If it's your preference, if that's something you're after, you're not gonna be let down by this. I don't think. I think it's a pretty solid overall knife. And also frame lock, great access to the lock bar. Forgot to mention that, of course. But good access to the lock bar and great action. So that is the Kubey Momentum tie M390 PVD coat black wash. Again, on this one they do come in another version, 2 other versions actually, and these are available right now on Kubey's site. Thank you again to Fred the Lug. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hit the like button if you like my content. Subscribe if you want more of it. Thank you guys so much. I'll see y'all on the next one.